Welcome to Confidently Clueless, the show where we uncover the oddly amusing ways we tend to overrate our smarts while downplaying the complexities of, well, everything. I'm Melissa DeWitt,
And Benjamin Tar.
and today we're diving into a topic that's equal parts funny and humbling, the Dunning-Kruger Effect. Basically, that overly confident inner voice insisting, I've totally got this, when, let's be honest, you really don't. From fiery social media arguments to those unique celebrity endorsements, this phenomenon shows up everywhere. Why does America's Got Talent make everyone a self-proclaimed vocal coach? What gives Elon Musk the guts to weigh in on politics or makes Bill Gates feel qualified to discuss medicine? More importantly, how can we avoid falling into the same trap of misplaced confidence? We'll break it down with help from Professor Trujillo, David McRaney's book, You're Not So Smart. Along the way, we'll share tips to boost self awareness and embrace the power of metacognition, because sometimes the wisest thing you can say is, I don't know.
Right. Going into explaining the Dunning-Kruger effect. Basically, it's an effect where there's a cognitive bias where people with little experience, knowledge, or skill believe that they are far more, I guess, competent than they actually are in whatever the subject may be. Um, basically, we're gonna probably ask you all or propose why this happens. Um, well, because of the very lack of expertise that hampers their performance, also prevents them from recognizing that their own mistakes um, cause them to not be, as competent as they think they are. Named after the psychologists David Dunning and Justin Kruger, this is a phenomenon that helps explain why someone might argue politics without understanding the policy or offer medical Kruger effect. Offer advice without grasping the basic science. At its core, the Dunning-Kruger effect highlights the gap between the perceived and the actual knowledge, showing how overconfidence can cloud judgment and lead you astray.
All right, let's bring this to life with some examples because trust me, the Dunning-Kruger effect is everywhere. Example one, social media politics. You know that friend on Facebook who watched one YouTube video about quantum mechanics and now claims to have unlocked the secrets of the universe? Actually, time isn't real. I can prove it. I saw this guy with a whiteboard explain it in 15 minutes. Meanwhile, actual physicists with years of research are quietly facepalming. That's the Dunning-Kruger effect in action. A little knowledge can make you think you're Einstein, but the more you learn, the more you realize how much you don't know. The early days of the pandemic. Remember when people suddenly became experts in virology after reading one questionable article or watching a 10-minute documentary on Facebook? Masks are a part of a government plan to control us. The herbs cure everything, including COVID. Actual epidemiologists who spend decades studying infectious diseases had to step in and battle misinformation at every turn, only to hear, do your research, which often meant Googling for 30 seconds. Social media loves a political expert. You know, the people who watched one uh, one video on a country's complex political system and suddenly know exactly how to fix it. If I were president, I would just tell everyone to get along and make the economy better. Yeah, well, thanks, Chad. You've solved centuries of socioeconomic challenges with a tweet. Let's alert the Nobel Committee. As if actual leaders with expertise and knowledge are actually putting their skills and expertise to help the issue. It's not so cut and dry now, is it, Chad? Stick to what you know, like football stats, and leave these complex issues to the experts because I promise you, you probably don't know how to make everyone get along and make the economy better. This isn't a Monopoly game played by kindergartners. Then there's the person who's watched a video claiming celery juice cures cancer and now thinks the entire medical field is a scam. They'll confidently post, doctors don't want you to know this because they're in the pocket of big pharma. Actual doctors and dietitians are left wondering how to get through to people who don't even read past the headline. If curing cancer was as simple as drinking celery juice first thing in the morning, I think oncologists would be put out by the vegetable aisle in your grocery store. I'm sure doctors who specialize in such topics can show you a young, active, vegetable drinking person who still ended up battling cancer. And the ones who do know a thing or two about the body gave proper treatment to treat the cancer. I don't I don't even want to think about how many people read a Crunch Granola Mom blog about how celery juice cures cancers, believe it, and deny treatment for themselves because they believe in vegetables more than they do in specialists. And don't forget the amateur legal experts who pop up during big trials. Actually, I read the Constitution once in high school, so I know this is a clear violation of Article 12. Spoiler alert, there is no Article 12. Real lawyers roll their eyes while these keyboard warriors dispensing free, unsolicited, and wildly inaccurate advice.
I was going to pose you a question to you, Melissa. Do you think that most conspiracy theorists are made based on this Dunning-Kruger effect?
Absolutely. Absolutely. Because do your research has been reduced to watching a YouTube video of some guy in their mom's basement with no degree in what they're talking about. And that just gets spread. Um, when, real research is just, it's peer reviewed. It's,
Yeah.
your sources are there.
I think also social media and being able to get to information as fast as we can nowadays made the Dunning-Kruger effect more prominent than I guess it would have been I guess in later years, because some people can believe that they are uh, more competent than they actually are because they can reach some amount of information very fast. And I think people are more like, I should say, like gullible because they don't have to work that hard to get their information. So they whatever that they can get their hands on, they believe is like should be taken as is. And yeah, I think that's why that's such a prominent thing more now
So
than beforehand.
for sure, they'll reiterate that YouTube video and then see the likes coming in with people who don't know better as well. And I guess that kind of validates them that they're a genius now.
Yeah, it makes no sense. Have you seen yourself falling in or falling victim of the Dunning-Kruger effect before you've read about it?
Oh, absolutely. More so on politics, I think. Um,
Oh yeah, for sure, for sure, for sure, for sure.
oh, I've got Parker wanting to join in.
Oh, cool,
Um,
cool, 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 cool.
let me, um, yeah, let's try to get our partner in. He called on something else. Um,
Did he not click on
I don't think he clicked on the right link.
probably
But
text him?
okay.
Yeah,
But yes, I definitely fell victim, especially in my younger days. 2016 to like that really comes to me in my Dunning-Kruger effect era.
yeah.
Um, I thought I knew more about politics and things like that, so I was very loud about policies and things that I just didn't know about, and I've learned to shut up since then.
For me, I guess when we learned about the Dunning-Kruger effect, I thought about how I thought on certain health issues, like like the cancer thing. I was probably one of those who's like, yeah, man, we can cure cancer. Just keep eating the right stuff, you know. And I realized that that was pretty dumb on my part. Once we started diving into the Dunning-Kruger effect more, but I think really I think it's something that's I don't think people like try to do it purposefully. I think it just happens because again,
Definitely.
yeah, you being human, you are not going to be, always right all the time. So
Oh yeah, I think it's part of the human experience.
for sure, for sure. So example two, we are going into our celebrity endorsements. So, well, celebs, we love them, but sometimes they overestimate their expertise, almost all the time, actually. Like when a celebrity known for, say, starring in a rom-com starts endorsing dubious wellness products with a zero scientific backing. Um, for example, this crystal-infused water will align your chakra and cure everything. That was a good one. No, Susan, no, it won't. Maybe touch some grass and drink your crystal water because whatever chakra is in your brain is not as aligned as you think. Mind you, they just learned what chakra was yesterday by the same crunchy granola mom blog that claims every celery juice is a cure all without even consulting with an Indian. Yogi who lives and breathes the culture and chakras originating from because I am so sure chakras are more complex. Oh, I'm sure chakras are more complex than drinking an overpriced crystal water. Um, like, can you even name all the chakras? When you come back from a year spent in the Himalayan mountains with actual yogis who have spent their life in meditation, maybe I'll listen to you about chakras and what aligns them. Or when the billionaire pop star endorses a presidential candidate without giving an explanation on why they endorsed that candidate. But because they have a sold out tour, they know which policies are going to help save the country. I'm sorry, but I don't know what to hear about I don't want to hear about who they endorse when they have a private jet and sit on a hoard of wealth like a dragon while the rest of us struggle to even put food on the table. Even if who they're endorsing is the candidate I want to win, the last thing I want to hear is an out of touch celebrity acting like they know the struggle the people of our country faces every second of their lives.
I know
Um,
that's right.
yeah, yeah, yeah. I think we've seen a very good example of that this presidential race.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, we sure did.
Yes, I think this is a great example of the Dunning-Kruger effect because I mean, we have somebody from like the WWE is now the Department of Education. Like why and how? Like I don't know.
Oh, for real?
That's
I didn't even know that. I didn't even
Yeah,
know.
that's crazy. That happened recently. And then of course we got Elon Musk. You know, he's pretty much like the our first lady now, I guess. I don't know, since
That's funny.
Hello.
Hi Parker.
How you doing, Parker?
I didn't know when to come into the conversation. I kind of sitting here for a second.
No, you're fine. You're fine. You're
This is
fine. You can just let us know and hop in whenever, really.
The Elon Musk thing, that one threw me off when I saw that on Twitter or
it's
X. Sorry, my apologies.
I was like a little thrown off when I saw Cardi B get up there and give a whole entire speech. I guess she's trying to speak from a civilian standpoint while being a millionaire. So I was like, I don't know how
Yeah,
that works. So when you said that in your explanation, I was like, that is spot on because I don't think she was doing what she was trying to promote. That wasn't really proving anything.
yeah, especially when you're not even explaining why and you're tweeting who you're endorsing on your private jet. Like, I don't want to hear it.
Yeah, definitely not. Definitely not. It doesn't come together. It's not cohesive at all.
Not at all. And Parker, if you've got that kind of outline,
I
there's
do.
example 3 if you want to jump on that. If you have it,
Uh,
if not, I can read it or we can
Yeah,
read
yeah.
it off and you go off of it. Um,
I assume
yeah.
we're still on pitch one. Are you referring to metacognition and self awareness or the questions?
Oh, no, example three. One example three
Um,
on the Dunning Kruger podcast, a document that was sent to us from Melissa.
segment 3. If you have it, if not, I can go off of it and then, or I can just read it and then it'll be easy for you to go off of what I'm saying.
Mm-hmm.
Um, yeah, so we can just go into example
Yeah, you
3,
got it. You
which,
got it most. Yeah, yeah. Go ahead.
yeah, like special skills on talent shows. Take America's Got Talent. Did you know that show relies on the Dunning-Kruger effect? You think anyone would watch it if we were all professional singers? No, that's boring. Um, by bringing in the ones who claim they are the best singer in the world and them actually being the worst brings in the viewership. We all know the contestants who walk in with the confidence levels through the roof saying, I've been told I'm the next Beyonce. When they sing, and let's just say Beyonce is not out of a job anytime soon. Again, they're missing the self awareness piece, which makes it both entertaining and a little heartbreaking. Please save yourself the embarrassment and stick to I got talent in my shower, unless you have the experience of a vocalist.
If that's not the biggest example or the best example of the Dunning-Kruger effect that we have, I don't know what is. That was perfect, really
I
spot on. Because
think so.
if you listen to their interviews before they get on stage, like you would think that yeah they're about to do something amazing, and then they start singing, and you're like, what the hell is going on? Oh man, that's tough.
Beyonce.
Yeah, it is kind of insane though.
Yes, I agree. But it is entertaining, and I guess I am a little grateful for it. Because I
That,
wouldn't watch it if it wasn't for those people.
yeah, that's the
Yeah.
part of the appeal. Growing up, I used to watch it with my parents as a kid, and you see all these people. They're like, "Oh, I'm gonna be the best," and you walk up and they absolutely stumble over themselves, have an absolute flare, get all four red buzzers, and it's, what did I just watch? But then you get a good laugh out of it, which brings back the appeal of having more people come, and all the people come to the shows.
Yes, absolutely.
Actually, in the book, when I read about the Dunning-Kruger effect, they stated that the Dunning-Kruger effect is not like to like point out like everybody's like insufficiencies. It's basically just telling you to probably practice a little more, and actually compare yourself to people who are actual masters in the field that you are claiming that you are a master in to actually become, sufficient. Because if you just sit there and you are in a pool of people who suck at what they do and you are just a little bit better than them, then you again will think you're the greatest thing since sliced bread until you put yourself in a pool where people actually know what they're doing and they actually understand um, you know, what you're practicing, and then you realize, okay, I'm not so good. So I think if people look at the Dunning-Kruger effect in a different way, instead of looking at it as, okay, he's just saying we're all dumb, I think they can like, probably, I guess take it in better than how it's, given to them.
For sure, for sure. Like time is our master. Like
Yeah, for
we
sure.
learn from it the best. That's for sure.
Well, let me go ahead and do the Elon. You said before Elon Musk?
Um, yeah, the Elon Musk paradox. Back to Elon because he's a
Okay.
great example of all of this.
All right. Let's talk about Elon Musk. Hate him or love him, but there is no denying that he can be brilliant. He can be a brilliant innovator and marketer. But his attention to political commentary, probably not so much. Maybe it's not his strong suit. Overconfidence in one area doesn't always translate to expertise in another. I trust him in figuring out how to send people to Mars, but not so much on economic policies because, again, I don't want to hear it from an out of touch billionaire who's another dragon sitting on his hoard of wealth. Elon profits off the labor of the working class who make it so he can have a matching golden toilet as Trump inside his jet, while the working class is living paycheck to paycheck. So really, Elon's the last person I want to hear when it comes to the working class and economics. When you're born into wealth, you can get a small loan of $1 million from a singular parent. Your view of working class Americans are probably the same as how you view peasants in the Dark Ages. Stick to rockets, Elon. Unless you're willing to use your hoard of wealth to stimulate the economy that benefits the working class. But what do I know about economics? All I'm an expert in It's being broke. I'm with you. Yeah, we're all there. Shout out to college students, man.
For real. The
Yeah,
struggle is definitely real. And if
facts.
Elon, if you can help out in any way, like please, but if
Yeah, man.
not,
We
then shut up.
and then I jigs with that one. The Elon Musk paradox.
Yeah.
If he wasn't as like adamant or as loud as he is, I don't think he would be such a great good example. But he's the confidence he has and the things he says about the economic policies and stuff like that is, yeah, quite alarming.
Yeah, I actually really used to like Elon Musk back in the day when he would just make these electric cars and not talk a lot. And then he started getting talking about everything, and then he just annoyed me from then on. So I
But
wish he would have
that makes me
just.
think. That makes me think also because I don't think he would have done all that if he wasn't being supported somehow or being like told that, oh yeah, we agree with what you're talking about. So I think in the Dunning-Kruger effect, that can become stronger based on outer in like with outer what's it called? What's the word I'm looking for? Influences. Like if you're being told, "Oh my God, you're so great. Oh my God, you always make sense when you talk about this certain subject," then yeah, you're gonna believe that at the end of the day, not voluntarily, but you're going to because you that's all you're hearing. So I don't think so. When we take the Dunning-Kruger effect, like sometimes it looks like we're blaming the individual for thinking they're better than they are, or like being too overconfident or being cocky. And in some instances, that's just your environment. That's what you're being told every day. So I mean, if you
That's
tell me every
actually a
day,
really good observation.
yeah,
Yeah.
if I
I
wake up
mean,
every morning and you tell me like, okay, I'm Michael Jordan, one day I'll be like, oh yeah, I am, and you can't tell me I'm not. I've been hearing it all my life. So
that's
One
so true. I didn't even think about it like that.
yeah,
one thing I saw from the past though is he in previous times relating to politics is he would frequently state that he is not a politician or like align with a political party and how it's like but now it's flipping to his public endorsements and all of his tweets and his like the political topics that he is like stating on and the boundaries he is going past is like kind of contradicting what he's done in the past because he is a like an undeniably a very good engineer and based on technology, but now he is flipping an entire basis and it's like gaining pure speculation of what are you doing?
Yes, absolutely. Oh, goodness. These
all right,
billionaires.
example five. Would you like to carry that?
Yes. Another billionaire, Bill Gates, and his pandemic planning. Um, also speaking of overstepping boundaries, let's look at Bill Gates. He's a business genius and a philanthropic leader. But no, he's not secretly a medical expert crafting global pandemics in his garage. The conspiracy theorists here are showing their own Dunning-Kruger effect. So I remember um, that was like another thing going around on Facebook that like Bill Gates was creating COVID-19. Like he
Oh
was a
yeah, yeah.
part of that. So he could like make the vaccine and profit off of, which
Was
that's
outrageous,
wild. Mm-hmm.
but
Yeah,
people actually like believe that wholeheartedly. Like,
they do. And I just, with no actual evidence, it's crazy. So I
no, it
definitely
absolutely is.
remember that.
I think me and Melissa already shared a time that we had our own personal experience of the Dunning-Kruger effect. Do you have a personal experience with that, Parker?
Oh dang, you put me on the spot. Um, ooh, okay. Or are you saying have we gone off of how you two have been like over
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Where
confident in
you?
one area?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. To a fault.
Um, no, to a fault. Okay. Um, this goes back to high school days. I was on a staff team and I had to plan something, and everyone has told me like, "Oh, you're the best one we've ever had in the past few years," from like all the teachers and educators from the past one who oversaw me. And then the entire part of this event, we were going on a camping trip, and I was the one that had to handle every single item that was being brought. Um, I thought I was completely fine and overestimated. We actually got there. I utterly failed and completely messed everything up.
Yeah,
And
that
then they
happens.
all sat there and they're like, "Oh, we thought you were just completely fine and you were doing so good, and then this happened." And then we had to scramble and figure everything out, and that was a real reality like check of that moment of being like, damn, I really screwed up and I'm not as good as they say I was.
Yep, that's that DK, man.
I think it's like that moment when you have that realization, though, is when you get on the path of becoming a lot better and to be an expert where people can confidently say that you are an expert in that. So at least you caught on to that. And I'm glad we all have in our own ways.
Nah,
Sometimes I still struggle. I'll say I'm the best driver ever because I've never like totaled my car, but I'm curbing it every other day. So
yeah, that makes sense. Why does overconfidence matter? You want me to take that
um
segment?
oh yeah, sure.
Okay. So overconfidence in public discourse can lead to all kinds of issues like misinformation, bad decision making, or even policies that are based on half-baked ideas. We've all seen debates where people shout opinions without facts. Thank you, Twitter. And it's a mess. I think that's very true. Overconfidence can in the long run be very detrimental to I believe to a society or community or whatever group of people that it's happening to. You instead of moving forward, you probably stay in place, stay very stagnant with the illusion that you are moving forward, which is worse than actually just not moving forward at all, because then you guys are putting in effort for no reason and going nowhere. You put it in a like a ghost effort basically because you're not going anywhere. You think you are, but you're really not because you guys are not as good as you think you are.
I agree for
Yeah.
sure.
That can very much lead to like having your like growth stunted. Because if you're like an overconfident, if you let's say for an example of like you're relating it to school, if you're like a student or like a professor or a professional in some kind of manner, and like you overestimate your own ability and your knowledge of what you were like think is going on or the thing you're playing, but then you're basically skipping essential lessons or learning your preparation that you are needing to grow, and then that is hindering your ability to grow because you're overestimating yourself, and then it's causing you to actually hurt yourself when other people around you are progressing and you're not.
Facts.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, I've witnessed that quite a few times in my life with
It's kind
other
of sad to see
people.
sometimes.
Mm-hmm. It really is. It really is. Um, so like, yeah, how do we beat the bias? Good news, you can outsmart the Dunning-Kruger effect. Um, my first tip would be to commit to the lifelong learning. Accepting what you don't know isn't a flaw, it's a strength. Stay curious and keep learning. Wisdom starts with recognizing your gaps. Another tip would be to welcome feedback, ask for insights from true experts. Sure, it might feel awkward, but it's a lot better than walking into a job interview thinking you're an astrophysicist just because you've seen Interstellar. And another tip would be practice metacognition. Pause to ask yourself, do I genuinely know this or am I assuming I do? This simple check can save you from cringeworthy moments and guide to better decisions.
All right. Closing thoughts. You want me to do that or you got that, Melissa?
Yeah, you can take it.
All right. All right, guys. So before you dive into explaining quantum physics after a Netflix marathon, take a breath and remember that we're all a bit confidently clueless now and then, and that's perfectly fine as long as we're open to learning. Until next time, stay curious, stay humble, and never stop asking questions. There we go, guys. We did it.
We
That's
hit
nice
past
first
30
podcast.
minutes. Yes.
Yeah, I appreciate y'all. Thank you, Melissa,
How
for
late? Okay, how late was
setting
I?
it up and everything. Huh?
How late was I? No, I was 2 seconds, a few seconds late.
No, you good, man. You made it just in time.
You're in the video.
For sure. For sure.
Yep.
I joined and I picked up that you were like actually going already, and I was like, oh shit. I was like,
We're
damn,
Yeah,
just happy you made it.
exactly. You was part of it. I mean, some people didn't. So yeah,
we're
you're not
missing a
those
few.
people.
We're
Yes.
missing 2 people.
It's all good.
Yes.
That's
Yep.
okay.
Well, thank y'all.
It's been a pleasure.
It really has. Y'all enjoy the rest of y'all year, all right?
Do I need to do
All
anything on the?
right.
Do we need to do anything to outside of which one? I know one of you has the video, so I'm assuming.
So I have it recorded and transcribed, and I
Okay.
will take that and I'll upload it to YouTube and all that and send it to them. So I'll take
Okay.
it from here.
Thanks again, Melissa.
All
Thank
right.
you.
Thank you.
Bye bye.
All right, see y'all
Bye.
later.
Okay, it's still going because I don't know how to stop this.